Hi, everybody. My name is Catherine Nitya. So when I met Marcy, I was just recently a single mom, and I was quite afraid of what was ahead of me. And she was still married to Bill. And then fast forward, and I'm driving up Fifth Avenue. This was about 3 years later after that. I'm driving up Fifth Avenue, and I see it's a one-way street. Down the street, these two people walking out the door, and I don't know who they are. And they walk around the car to the driver's side, and I knew that the guy was going to open the door for this gal. And I'm driving, and I'm getting closer, and I thought, oh, she's going to turn around, and they're going to kiss. And they did. And I thought, what is happening here? It's like I knew what they were going to do, and then it happened. And of course, I'm still a single mom, and I'm just dying to meet somebody. And I thought, oh, I melted. And as I drove past, it was Scotty and Marcy. So this is the first time I saw you guys together. And they had been, for the next 15 years, my son, my universal expression of what a couple could look like. Because every place else I looked at a couple, there was a bickering, there was a friction. If you look close enough, you always thought, you saw that this was their public persona as a couple. But I knew you guys inside and out, and you were always so accepting and loving of each other. There was never one moment I saw where you guys would bicker or something would shine through that was hidden at other moments. Never. And I held that as my North Star. And finally, after many years, I met my husband, Craig, who, to me, we've created as close a couple. I bicker, though, because I do. That's me. But he's perfect. So he doesn't bicker back. And after we were together about 3 years, my daughter came to me. She said, I don't know what's happening. Every time I go out with a guy, he seems like a new guy, but then he ends up being my dad. That's the one I divorced. Okay? And I said, well, she said, what should I do? I don't know. Maybe you should. And I got really esoteric and very confused and complex. And then Craig said, just go out with somebody that maybe has a college degree. Would be nice. Anyways, I thought, yeah, that. Okay, let's go for that. So anyway, she met this wonderful guy, and he didn't have a college degree, and she came to me and she said, what do you think? And we met him, and we fell in love with him. And what happened was, you created the couple. I found a husband who then created a model, and then Janine found the best guy in the world. It's just this living example. But where I'm going with all this, we're going to fast forward. A lot of times I would come up when Scotty was out of town to be with Marcy, and Marcy took me out to lunch one day. I thought, what's going on? She sat across the table from me. She said, I have to tell you something. I said, what? And she said, well, it's about Scotty and me. And I thought, oh God, you're not getting a divorce. And she said, oh no, but Scott is a woman. I said, oh, thank God. It's like, oh, thank God. As long as you're not getting a divorce, right? She said, yeah. Anyways, so I was there when Marcy passed. And I have to tell you, something happened. I mean, and if you've been with somebody who passes and you're with them, the veil gets really thin. You can feel the other side. I mean, it's. And so when Marcy passed, there was so much, for me personally, so much joy. I was absolutely elated. I was so happy. And I couldn't stop smiling. And that was a Saturday. And then I drove home, I think Sunday. And then Monday morning, I like to keep silence Monday morning. So Monday morning, I'm doing some practices. I'm sitting out on my back porch. And all of a sudden it came. The grief, the missing. And I started to cry, and I thought, what's going on? Why am I so sad? And then I realized there is no one. Marcy saw me differently than I saw myself. She saw the greatness in me, and then she would be my champion. And she'd say, will you do this? And I said, oh, I don't know. I think I can do that. You know me. I've got a big mouth. I get in trouble. And, oh, no, you can do this. You can do this. And then she would push me into it. And then I did it. And I kept thinking that Monday morning, who is going to see that in me now? Who is going to stand for that in me now? So one more thing. Thursday night, I think it was Thursday night, I dreamt of Marcy all night long. I had so many dreams of her. And at the end, we were sitting at this long table, and our meditation teacher walked by, and she said, this was the head of the table here, and she said, this is my chair. I may not make it, but I'll be here. Like, save the chair for me. And then I turn around, and we're right at the head of the table, Marcy and I, and Marcy's to my left. And I look over at her, and I said, what are you doing here? Because it's this day I'm dreaming of. This day, everybody together. And what are you doing here? You're supposed to be dead. And she said, this is my party, and I'm not going to miss it.
When Kat told me that story, I almost drove off the cliff because, and Maureen will attest to this, one time somebody found out, you've been married 4 times. Why 4 times? And Marcy said, I can't pass up a party given in my honor.